Good day to everyone. Today we're going to discuss file handling in Java. So this time we're going to create a program where we're going to apply the create, read, update, and delete, or in short, the CRUD. So with the so for our program, we're going to handle a text file that will be created by the program, read by the program, which is it will display the content of the file, and update means it will manipulate the content of the file, and delete the file using the program. So now we start to create the project of the program, or in short, let's create a new project. um as you can see, I'm using Apache NetBeans IDE 20. So here, in a new project window, we have selections. We have Java with Maven, Gradle, or with Ant. In here, we're going to create Java application using Gradle framework. So let's select this Gradle. Then in projects, let's select Java application. So let's hit next to another form or another window where we are going to create the project name of the program. So here, let's name this program as file handler. Then let's locate the project location. So here I already have the folder for the program. I named it CRUD file handling. So inside this folder, this is where the project will be generated by our IDE. So let's select this folder. And we have here the description, group, version. So let's just skip this optional info. We don't need it yet. So we have the package name base as a file handler, same as the project name we typed earlier. So let's click finish to generate the project folder of our program. So let's wait for the generation of the project. And now we have the project files, project directories. So as you can see, we have the file handler as the name of the project. We have directories inside the build scripts, subscripts. We have the files inside, which is the handler and the app. Inside the app, I guess this is where the main class or the main Java file is located. And here we have the app.java, the main Java file of the project. So let's check if it is running correctly. So here is the output. So it displaying hello world as its default generated output. This is the package source. in the project directory. So this is the app.java. So here are the files. Okay. Now, let's proceed by cleaning the main class we have here, which is the app.java. Just remove this one. We don't need this. Let's replace this with a simple string hello world. Let's check if it is running. Okay. So we have the app.java. Now that we have the main Java file, so together with this app.java, where it is. So together with the app.java, we are going to create another Java file. So we're going to rename this Java file as CRUD. So let's finish. Then let's clean this part. Okay, so this part, let's remove this public static void in our CRUD.java. Why? Because this CRUD.java, we're going to use this as the library of our methods or functions that we are going to create, like create function, read function, update function, and delete function. We are going to call this CRUD.java in app.java. So let's create a simple function to for testing the connection between the two classes. So let's create a public void test. So system.out.println. Let's put the hello world here. Then let's remove this system.out.print in our app.java. Inside the app.java, we're going to apply the OOP. We're going to call the CRUD.java inside it. In this line of code, we are calling this CRUD.java as in-use object by the app.java. In other words, any function we are going to create inside the CRUD.java will be called easily inside the app.java by this line of code. So that we have the CRUD variable for the connection of CRUD.java. Let's test this connection by displaying the hello world that we created using test.function inside the crude.java. So let's call this a crude dot. And as you can see, this is the test function we created in the crude class. Let's call this. Okay, let's put this crude.test function inside the system.out.print. So that we can see if it will display the hello world that we created inside this function. Okay, I forgot. There is already a system.out.print, so there's no need for this. So just call the crude.test.function. That's it. Okay. So let's run the program if the app.java will display hello world using crude.test function that is created inside crude.java inside the crude.java. Okay, and as you can see, using the OOP feature of Java, we call the test function that will the test function that displays hello world. So as you can see, the connection between the two classes, the app and the crude, is successful, and there is no error in it. So we can proceed now to the creation of the crude functions in the crude.java. So let's remove this function. We don't need it anymore because we have the connection successful between the two classes. Now we have the crude here. We have the create, read, update, delete. So we're going to create the first function, the create file. So this is the first function we're going to do. But before that, we need to call some libraries that is necessary for applying the crude in file handling or Java file handling. So we're going to use import to call these libraries. Okay, let's discuss these libraries we called earlier, or we imported earlier in crude.java. So let's start in import java.io.file. So this library, we're going to use this to to create and to read the file use in this program. Then we have the import java.io.file writer this library, we're going to use this to replace the content of the file. Let's say the file has the file have the old text inside it. We're going to use file writer to replace the old text into a new text via user input. And we have the import java.io exception. This library is a library that we're going to use for error handling when we're going to open or read or create the file using this program. Then same as the import java.io.file not found exception, it is also an error exception library that is used to manage file uh, files that can't be found by the program. And we have the import java.util.scanner, a utility library that we are going to use to provide a user input in the program. So this is the libraries we are going to use in creating the CRUD functions. So now we have the libraries we need. Let's start creating the create file function, the first function in CRUD. So let's call the public. Okay. So as you can see, I created the create file function using public void. Void means we're not going to return any value using this function. This function this function's purpose is to create a file. And inside its parameter, we have the string path name. So this variable that we declared inside its parameter is a variable that will be used to handle the file name and the location of the file that will be created by this program. And inside this function, we're going to use try catch. The try catch is used to handle error exceptions. In this function, we're going to use IO exception. This IO exception will handle errors when we're going to create a file using this program. So before we proceed to put some okay, let's proceed. Before we create a block of code, before we create block of codes inside the try. So here in catch part, let's display some output that will notify the program that there is an error occurred in execution by simply displaying system.out.println. Then inside the output, let's put an error occurred, and that's all. And together with the output, let's call the E print stack trace. This print stack trace is used to display the details of the error during execution. As you can see, there is an error in this part. So we have the error because we don't have any block of codes inside the try. So to remove that, let's start creating block of codes inside the try block by starting to declare the file. This file variable, we're going to use this to handle the file that will be created by the program. Then let's create a condition. As you can see in if statement, I didn't use any curly brackets to enclose the block of code. I will not use a curly bracket because it only contains one line of code. If you have one line of code inside a condition, example this one if statement, so you don't need to use the curly bracket. But for better practice, you can use the curly bracket. But for me, I prefer not to minimize the line of code of the program. So let's put some string here. And let's call the else. Let's just copy this string. Okay, so let's discuss this if else statement I created earlier. As you can see, we have the condition in the if statement, which is the file that create new file. It will be used to identify if the file is already exist or not. If not existing, it will successfully create the file and get its name to be displayed in this part of output. If the file already exists, it will run the else statement that will say file creation failed, file already exists. That's how the function will work when we call this, or we called it in app.java. Now that we have the create file function, and as you can see, the catch block error is gone because we already have the block of code inside the try block. So now we have the create file. Let's run this file, or let's call this create file function in app.java. So before that, we need to uh, declare another string. As you can remember, we created a variable inside the create file parameter named path name. This path name variable will hold the location and the file name of the file that will be created by the program. So let's create, just say file name dot text. So this is the file that will create by the program. And to test the create file function in app.java, let's call CRUD dot. And as you can see, this is the create file function we created earlier in CRUD.java. Let's just call this function. And as you can see, we have the path name variable, which is this one. Now, let's run the program if the program will create the file name.txt inside its directory. And as you can see, we have a successful message that that says file creation success, file name.txt, which means the file name is created. And here it is. We have the file name inside the file handler app. Now, to make our project directory organized, let's create a folder inside this file handler directory. Just folder. Name this folder data. And delete this file name.txt generated by the program. And in this app.java, we will add the data as the value of the path name. Remember, this data is the name of the directory we created, or the name of the folder we created inside the file handler directory. And we separated it using slash with the file name.txt. Means once the program is executed, the file name.txt will be generated inside the data folder. Now, to test the output, let's run the program if the program will create the file name.txt inside the data folder. And as you can see, we have the file name.txt inside the data folder created by the program. So this is how the create function works in CRUD. Now that we have the create function, we're going to proceed to the next function, which is the read function. The read function's purpose is to read the content of the file name.txt. So let's go to CRUD.java and create the read file function. Okay, before we proceed, as you can see, I created a read file, or a public string read file. Means this function will return a string value. So we're going to create a return block here. So before that, we need to declare some variables that we need. So here I created a new variable, string text, that will handle all the content of the file name .text. Then don't forget to create the try catch block. In this catch block, we're going to call the file not found exception. So to prevent the unexpected termination of the program, if an error occurred when the program can't find the file name .text inside its directory. So to prevent that, we're going to call the file not found exception. And just copy this line of codes in the catch block of the create file. It's just the same when the error occurred in file not found exception. Now that we have the catch block, let's proceed to the try block. Let's create the line of code here that we need to read the content of the file name .text. So let's declare first the file. So as we discussed earlier in create file function, this file variable will be used to manage or to hold the path name or the file, which is the file name .text. And we declared another variable, which is reader, that is associated with the scanner library that we declared earlier, or we imported earlier in the outer part of the class. So this scanner will be used to scan the content of the file character by character. So let's say you have hello, which is composed of how many characters it is? How many characters? HELLO. So we have 5 characters in hello. It will scan by scanner library that we declared, or with the it will scan by the reader variable character by character. So to scan it character by character, to scan all the characters inside the file name .text, we need to use a loop. So let's use while loop here. So we created a while loop to scan all the characters inside the file name.txt using reader variable. So we use read that has next line as a condition. Means as long as there is a character inside the file name.txt, it will execute the block of code here where we declared data as a string variable. Using this data variable, we're going to scan all characters inside file name.txt and assign all the characters scanned by data variable to text variable. So using loop, we will scan everything inside file name.txt and assign it to text variable. Then don't forget to use close. This function is used to close the file after reading the content of the file. Because when you did not close the file after reading it, it will still running as a background of the device. So to prevent that, we use close function to terminate the scanning execution of the program. Now that we have the read file function, okay, I forgot to put return. So there is a return. That's why there is an error here because as you can see, we use string. So we need to provide a return value. So we're going to return the text. So we're going to return the text variable because this text variable holds the overall content scanned in file name.txt. Okay, so we have here the complete function of the read file function in CRUD. Now let's head back in app.java to test this function by calling it. So let's change this create file into read. And let's put this inside a system.out.print. To display the content of the file in the program as an output. Okay. Now that we have called the read file function, let's run the program. Let's check if it will display the content of the file name.txt that the program created earlier using create file function. Okay, so as you can see, it did not display anything because there is no content. So let's put some content here. Let's put hello world. Let's save this one. So let's close this. Okay, so we have the hello world text. Let's check if it will display in the program. Let's run. Okay, so as you can see, the hello world that we put earlier in file name.txt is displayed in execution. So that is how we read the content of a file in Java. Now that we have the read function, we're going to create the update function. We're going to proceed to update function. So let's head back in CRUD. So let's minimize this create file function to reduce the code the code displayed in our workspace. So let's create a new function below read file. Okay, so we have here created a function. So we created public void update file. Void means we're not going to return any value. And inside its parameter, we created three variables. First, the path name that will hold the file. Second is the old string that will hold the old content of the file. And third string is the new string. The new string will hold the new content of the file. So, to create a new content of the file, it's either via user input or a declared variable. So here, we proceed inside the update file. Let's create the file, literally, as is. As we discussed earlier, this file variable will hold the file name and the location of the file that will be scanned by the program. Next, we're going to create a file writer. This file writer, aka write variable, will be used to write the new string inside the file name. It will be used to replace the old string into a new string inside the file name.txt. Then after we created the variables that we need, we were going to create the try catch block. As you can see in try catch block, we created a finally block. This finally block will be used to manage the closing of the file. The closing or determination of uh, writing a content of the file after it rewrites the old content to new content. So before we proceed the try block, let's create this try catch inside the finally block. So let's call the right dot close. So right dot close is the function we're going to use to close the updating of the content of the file. Then in here we call the IO exception. To prevent some errors that will be occurred during execution of the update of the content of the file. And just copy this system.out.print an error occurred and print stack trace and paste it in catch block. Same as the catch block, below the try block. So let's copy this IO exception and paste it inside the catch block here. So remember, this finally block will be used to execute the closing of or the execution of termination of updating the file or the reading of the file. That's why we have the try catch here to prevent and print the errors that will be occurred during the closing of the file. And here we have the try catch above the finally block that will be used to prevent the errors during execution of the update of the old content to new content of the file. So now let's proceed to create the block of the updating the file content. So inside the try block, we're going to call the write variable. So here we call the write variable and we initialize the file writer. I mean, we initialize the file inside the file writer. So this part will be used to command the variable to write the new string or the new content to the file, which is the file name.txt. Then we are going to call the write variable dot write. Okay, we have here the write function. So this write function will be used to replace the old string to new string by writing it inside the file name. And to do that, we call the variable old string dot replace function. So this dot replace all function will be used to replace the old string to a new string. Now that we have the functions, we have the function of the update file. Let's head back to the app.java. So let's test the update file function if it will replace the or if it will change the content of the file. So first we call the read file. So below the output of the read file, let's call the crude dot update. So we have the update file function here. So the path name is the first parameter. The old string will be the crude dot read file. So the old string will be the crude.read file that will scan the content of the file. And the third is the new string. So let's say we put a new string hi there. So using the update file function, we are going to change the hello world to hi there. So to check if it will replace the old string to new string, we're going to copy this system.out.print crude read file below the crude update file function. And let's check if the hello world will change into hi there. So let's run the program. And as you can see, the hello world inside the file name.txt change into hi there. So to verify this output, let's open the file name.txt, and as you can see, the hello world changed into hi there. And that's how the update file function works in Java. So to make the update file function dynamic by changing the content using the user input, we're going to create a function, an input function that will allow a user input to change the content of the file. So let's create a function inside the crude.java. So we're going to create public string input, means this function will return a string value. In here, we're going to call scanner and name a variable like okay, we create a scan variable for this scanner. So this variable will be used to uh, to handle the user input. Then let's create another variable or string variable. String variable data is equal to scan dot next line. This string data variable will hold the value of the user input assigned in scan variable. And we provide the return, which we're going to return the data variable as a result of the input. Now that we have the input function for for uh, for dynamic content of the file named, or dynamic content of the file, let's change this string in the third parameter of the update file function in app.java into crude.input. And let's put some design, or some string design to make it to make the output more readable. Okay, so let's analyze the line of codes here. So we put some string, or we concatenated some string in this line of code to identify that this output is the old text, and we put some user input string here to identify that this line of code will provide a user input in the program. And this one is we just add a string. We just concatenated a string that indicates that the new text is updated inside the file name.txt. Okay? Now, let's check the output of the program. And as you can see, we have the old text hide there. Let's change this hide there into hello world by providing a user input. Just enter this to change the hide there into hello world. And as you can see, it displays new text, means the content of the file, which is the file name.txt, change into hello world. So to verify that, let's open the file name.txt. And as you can see, it changed into hello world. And that's how update function and the user input change the content of the file. So let's say this user input, let's change this into type new. Okay. Now that we have the update function in CRUD, let's proceed to the last part, which is the delete function. This delete function will delete the file created by the program. Now, let's proceed back in the crude.java. Let's create the delete file function above input function. So, let's create this public. Now, as you can see, I used void in public void delete function because we're not going to return a value here. We're just going to delete the file, which is the file name.txt. So let's call the file is equal to new file, and inside the file function is the path name. And let's create a condition. Okay, so we created a we created an if else statement to identify if the file is deleted or not using delete function. In this parameter, or in this condition of if statement, we call file.delete function. Means if the delete function of the file library is executed, it will delete the specific path name. If this function deleted the file name, it will display this output, which is file deletion success, and its file name that is deleted. If this delete function failed to delete a file, means for example the file is not existing, it can't delete a file because it can't find this file, so it will display file deletion failed, file did not exist. So this is how delete file function will work in our CRUD. Now, let's head back in app.java. Okay, let's comment out this block of code. We're going to use this later. So we're going to test the delete file function by calling the crude.delete file. Using this delete file function, let's try to delete the file name.txt inside the data folder. So let's execute the program if it will delete the file. And as you can see, the file name.txt deleted by the program, and it displays file deletion success file name.txt. Now, let's run the program again. And as you can see, because the file name.txt is deleted already, it displays file deletion failed, file did not exist, because uh, the program can find the file that the delete function of the file library must delete. It can find the file because it is already deleted. And that's how the delete file function works in our program CRUD. Now, to finalize the output of the program, to make it more like a basic Java application, so let's run all the CRUD functions together. So let's uncomment this one because we're going to use this. Okay, now let's call first the CRUD dot create file. So always remember, we deleted the file name.txt, right? So we call the CRUD.create file to create the file name.txt again. And let's put some system dot out dot print ln. Let's put some text design by putting this. Okay, so this part is for the create. So let's put some comment. Create. Now, for the read. So for the read, let's say this one. And for the update, let's say this one. Type new. And let's put some division here by copying this string. Now, let's put some display for the delete. Let's say we create some options if the file must be deleted or not by the user, by putting some text or display here. Okay, so let's have some options here for the user if the user wants to delete or not the file the program created. Then let's provide some response in the user. by putting system dot out dot print. And here we call this condition. If CRUD dot input, we're going to call the input function to identify the response of the user, if the user wants to delete or not the file. Then inside the condition, we're going to call the CRUD dot delete file. Okay, so we have an error here that indicates bad operand types for binary operator equals. So it says the first data type is string, and the second type is 1. Okay, I see. So we have the condition here that is equal to 1, where the input is collecting string values. Okay. So we have a mismatch data type input here. We have a mismatch data type in condition. So to prevent that, let's enclose this CRUD.input function inside an integer dot parseInt. Okay. So this integer dot parseInt will convert the string to integer. String is the input function, the user input, and it will converted to integer to match the condition inside the if statement, which is equals to 1. And as you can see, using integer.parseInt, we match the condition. They are now both integers, because as you can see, the options here is it's either 1 or 0, right? So either the user will enter 1 for yes or 0 for no. If yes, the program will delete the file name.txt. If no, it will do nothing. The program will not delete the file. That's all. Okay, so we have the overall output of the program. We call all the functions that we created in CRUD.java, which is the create, the read, update, and delete. In short, we call all the CRUD functions to handle the file in Java. Now, let's execute the program. As you can see, the program created the file name.txt, which is here. We have the notification that displays file creation success, file name.txt. And as you can see, the file name.txt is created inside the data folder. Now, let's proceed to update the content of the file. As you can see, the old text is empty, no? So this part reads the content of the file, which is empty. That's why the old text did not display anything. So to provide a content, we're going to input some text here. So let's put the hello world. Let's enter this. And as you can see, using the update file function, we put the hello world inside the text file or inside the file name.txt. And as you can see, it proceeds to the notification if we are going to delete the file name.txt or not by putting 1 for yes, 0 for no. So let's say we type no. If we type no, the program will do nothing. Okay, load. So let's say we type 1 for yes to delete the file. And as you can see, the program deleted the file successfully by displaying file deletion success file name.txt. And that's how the CRUD functions works in Java. That's how file handling works in Java. Okay? So, before we end this session, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell of the channel for notification. And see you next time for another topic in Java programming.